Title: The Stoic Archer, How to Hit Your Goals with Ancient Precision. Philosophy Spotlight: Stoicism, the Archer's Mind. Stoicism is the philosophy of mastering the mind so that life's arrows can strike true. From Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who wrote in his private journal, Meditations, to Seneca, the playwright who taught that the greatest power lies in the ability to stay calm in the face of turmoil, Stoicism teaches us that the only thing we can fully control is how we act toward the world. Key Idea 1: Focus on what you can control. All the uncertainties in life are beyond your immediate grasp: weather, traffic, other people's reactions. What you have absolute command over is your perception, your effort, your choice of action. This is the Stoic Archer's stance: steady hands, purposeful breath, unwavering focus. Key Idea 2: Practice premeditatio malorum. Anticipate obstacles, but do not let them dictate your emotions. By rehearsing what-if scenarios in your mind, you reduce shock when they inevitably appear, just as an archer visualizes the arrow's path and still steadies the draw. Key Idea 3: Acceptance of the uncontrollable. When the arrow lands, high, low, on target, or not, your responsibility was to have released it with discipline. This acceptance frees the archer to aim again without regret or fury. These lessons are the bedrock of the Stoic Archer's quest. They shape every chapter of our journey from ancient bowmanship to modern goal setting. Chapter 1: The First Shot, Discipline of the Spartan Archer. In the heat of the Battle of Plataea, Spartan archers were famed not for the power of their bows, but for the discipline with which they handled them. Each archer walked into the front square every morning, setting up his bow beside his fellow warrior, letting the arrows rest. He then practiced 3 simple repetitions: a controlled bend, a steady release, and a mindful observation of where the arrow landed. He repeated this ritual with unflinching precision, indifferent to the roar of impending battle. The discipline was so ingrained that when the battle erupted, these archers' arrows sliced through the air with uncanny focus, striking their marks despite chaotic surroundings. Motivational insight: discipline is the bridge between setting goals and achieving them. The Spartans didn't wait for an ideal moment. They created the ideal moment through practice. Practical lesson for today: break your big goals into tiny daily rituals. If your goal is to launch a new product, start each morning by drafting the day's tasks in a simple 2-phrase checklist. Identify customer pain. Develop prototype. This ritual turns grand objectives into manageable actions. How to apply it now: pick one goal you've been postponing, maybe writing a novel, launching a side hustle, or improving a skill. Write down the first step. Commit to doing that step for 10 minutes each day. By the time you've practiced this for a month, the action will feel automatic, and you'll be ready to tackle the next step with confidence. Conclusion: the Spartan archer's success was not in strength, but in repetition. Your success begins with the first consistent, disciplined action you take toward your goal. Call to action: if you found this story inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more ancient wisdom turned modern strategy. Reflective question: what is one daily ritual you can establish today that brings you closer to your biggest goal? Chapter 2: Calm in the Storm, the Chinese Bowmaster's Mind. Long before the Qin army marched into battle, Li Bai, a renowned Chinese poet, once recounted how a master archer taught him the art of qi, the vital life energy that flows through every part of a body. The master archer instructed him to breathe slowly, to feel the steady current beneath his ribs, and to anchor his thoughts on a single point beyond the target. When the world around them erupted in conflict, the archer remained serene, allowing his breath to guide his hands. The story echoes the ancient Chinese principle of balance. One cannot strike with anger or hesitance. Only with calm focus does an arrow find its mark. Motivational insight: the ability to remain calm under pressure is the secret of precision. Practical lesson for today: when you feel stress, deadline approaching, important meeting, a critique, take a pause. Notice your breath. When you anchor yourself, your mind can process information more clearly and act more efficiently. How to apply it now: next time you're overwhelmed, pause 3 times. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Let these mindful breaths become a mini meditation that steadies your focus before you tackle the task at hand. Conclusion. Just as the Chinese archer's arrow pierced target after target without flinching, you can shoot straight toward your goals if you can maintain inner calm in a world that always tends to rattle you. Call to action. If you liked this calming lesson, share it with a friend who needs to stay grounded, and hit that subscribe button for more guidance. Reflective question. When faced with adversity, how can you cultivate the same calm focus that the ancient bowmaster practiced? Chapter 3, The Purposeful Arrow, Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, the prince and warrior of the Mahabharata, lifted his bow, the Gandhava, in the dusty field of Kurukshetra. He stared at the battlefield and felt a profound crisis. He wondered whether he should fight, knowing the loss would tear his family. Lord Krishna, his charioteer, guided him with the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. Act with intention, detach from the outcome. Krishna taught Arjuna that true purpose lies in aligning each action with duty, dharma, irrespective of result. Arjuna chose to fight, not to forenavigate the war's outcome, but to fulfill his duty as a warrior and to maintain harmony. He was no longer driven by fear or self-interest. His actions were guided simply by purpose. Motivational insight. Purpose transforms effort from obligation into passion. When you align your daily practice with a deeper sense of meaning, productivity becomes effortless. Practical lesson for today. Define the purpose behind each goal. Is it to learn a vital skill, to solve a community problem, or to build a legacy? When the why is clear, obstacles lose their force. How to apply it now. Spend 10 minutes writing your why statement. I want to learn X because Y will help Z. Place this statement where you see it often, next to your smartphone, on your computer monitor, on your bedroom wall. Whenever you start a task, remind yourself it is a step toward that purpose. Conclusion. Arjuna's success was rooted in purpose. The archer in you will always find the bullseye if you hold to a clear, self-aligned intention. Call to action. If you're ready to align your goals with purpose, share this moment and subscribe for more stories that elevate the mind. Reflective question. What is the deeper purpose behind your most prized goal, and how will that purpose guide your daily actions? Chapter 4, The Stoic Archer's Discipline, Seneca's Archery Analogy. Seneca once used an archery anecdote to illustrate the essence of Stoic conduct. He said, "Consider a man shooting an arrow into a target. The arrow may be influenced by wind, or it may hit or miss. What changes is not the arrow's direction, but the shooter's preparation." Seneca stressed that the archer's true mastery lies not in predicting the arrow's path, but in controlling its shoot, drawing, aiming, and releasing with disciplined, reasoned motion. In his letters, Seneca counseled, "Do not be angry when you fail to hit the target. Anger is an error in judgment. Instead, reflect on what can be improved and practice again." His approach embodies resilience. Learn from each misstep and continue. Motivational insight. Success is less about flawless execution and more about learning from each misfire and adjusting. Practical lesson for today. Adopt a feedback mindset. Treat every failure as data, not defeat. Build a small routine to evaluate and iterate, 1 minute after each effort, what worked, what didn't. How to apply it now. Choose a skill you're working on: coding, public speaking, cooking. Record yourself each day. After the session, write a 3-line recap. I used X technique. I felt Y. Next time I will do Z. Over time, this will form a continuous improvement loop. Conclusion. The Stoic archer's true precision comes from within, his discipline, his curiosity, and his unwavering focus on process. Success is a byproduct, not a goal in itself. Call to action. Found value in turning mistakes into lessons? Like and share this insight, and subscribe for more growth hacks based on ancient wisdom. Reflective question. When you miss your mark, how can you transform that miss into actionable insight? Chapter 5, Shooting for Tomorrow, The Archer's Legacy. Imagine a modern entrepreneur, Maya, who runs a sustainable product line. She has an ambitious goal: to reduce her company's carbon footprint by 50% in 5 years. Maya applies the Stoic archer's practices: disciplined daily planning, calm deliberation under pressure, purposeful goal setting, and learning from failure. She sets up incremental milestones. First year, reduce packaging material. Second year, switch to renewable energy suppliers. Third year, enhance employee training on ASG, and so on. As months roll, she faces supply chain hiccups, market fluctuations, and workforce challenges. Each time, Maya's calm focus, disciplined execution, clear purpose, and reflective adaptation keep her on target. At the 5-year mark, she reports a 53% reduction, surpassing her goal not by luck but by disciplined, purposeful practice. Motivational insight. Your legacy lies not in the final arrow, but in each careful shot you fire. Every day, every iteration, builds the ultimate horizon. Practical lesson for today. Map your long-term vision into incremental, measurable steps and commit to daily action. Even small, imperfect steps keep the trajectory on course. How to apply it now? Take your biggest aspiration, whether in career, health, or relationships, and break it into 5 yearly bullseyes. For each year, identify one major KPI and a concrete weekly action that contributes to it. Review progress monthly, adjusting tactics with the Stoic feedback mindset. Conclusion. Just as the archer's arrow never flies back to the deck, your decisions carve the path of your life. Discipline, calm, purpose, and learning create a trajectory that's inevitably heading toward success. Call to action. If Maya's journey motivates you to aim higher, hit like, share this story, and subscribe for the next dose of ancient strategy in modern life. Reflective question. What is your biggest long-term goal, and what first small action can you commit to today that will keep you on course? Final reflection. The Stoic Archer's legend transcends time. The disciplined breath, the purposeful aim, the calm under storm, the relentless learning, all are timeless tools within reach. By infusing these lessons into your daily life, you become a master archer of your own destiny, striking true in the boardroom, in your relationships, and in the very heart of your spirit. Remember, the arrow's path is set by you, not by the wind or the target's fluster. Aim with intention, shoot with discipline, and adjust with humility. Your goal is not simply to hit the bullseye, but to keep your eyes on the horizon, learning and growing with every shot. If this journey resonates with you, stay connected, like, share, and subscribe for more voyages into ancient wisdom that power your modern triumphs.